Good evening and welcome to the Highgate Selectboard meeting for June 2nd, 2022. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so before we ask for public comments, I would like to congratulate everyone on a very successful Memorial Day. The fire department was fantastic to see so many people come out and volunteer and help out. The chicken was delicious. Sue, you and Mrs. Smith did a wonderful job and made a great deal of money for the Memorial Fund, so congratulations on that.
$820.
Yep.
Great job.
Unbelievable. I was thrilled right to death.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we had some big donations, but we've got a couple things different next year that I'm planning on working on.
But yeah, everybody was very happy. Richard and Keith did a great job with the parade and getting things set up, so it was very well done. And while we're on the congratulations, Brian,
Yes,
I hear you had a surprise.
I did. Yes.
Brian received an award for his time with his community and the rec department. And it was a surprise attack, and they actually were able to surprise him.
Poor James.
So congratulations, we're
Thank you.
very proud of you.
Thank you very much, Brian.
You're welcome.
So, now I'll open the floor to public comments.
I have nothing to say.
Okay, well, so we worked you hard.
This is your time.
Okay, yeah.
Public comment, this is the time, you guys. For you.
I think Kyle brought it up last couple months ago.
Yeah.
About the fire, what is it called?
Introduce yourselves and where you live, please.
Eric Lang, Laura Lang, and my wife Autumn Lang, 923 Hannah Road. There's the
The old Herb Realty property.
Yes, okay.
So we have a large pond on the property that we share with Keith as well. And I know like it was brought up and usually through Eric. So one of the things is that we have that fire hydrant there that we know that we want to be available for town use. But the pond right now is turning more into a marsh. And by July, it's like the pump is out of the water. So we were wondering if there's some way, the town could contribute to either dredging the pond or if there's some other kind of fix, because there is that really nice hydrant there.
So I know,
And I can tell you that come July, maybe it's out, but right now it's not even, I don't believe, after talking to Gary, it's even serviceable right now.
No, it's completely surrounded by weeds.
There's so much weed and muck.
Yeah, we moved there about 3 years ago, and we went out there with a paddle and a boat, and we tried to go out there, and we got about maybe 2 feet of depth, if that, and we lost 2 boots trying to go out there, so.
So
had you talked to Gary?
I have talked to Gary. I know originally they were supposed to have maintenance schedules on each pond that has the dry hydrant program. I don't believe that those records were ever kept. So I don't know if that is gonna be an avenue to get help or not. I would like to find out from the Army Corps if we can dredge that pond for starters. Although it's a privately owned pond, it's still water, and they probably have jurisdiction over it. And I just think we should probably go out and get someone with a long arm excavator to get a quote. And if it's gonna make any sense to do it, because the pond is so infested with weed at this point,
Yeah,
is it gonna be worth it? And I'm guessing it's probably invasive species, which means it can't be transported. Those are just my days of being on the weed harvester in Franklin. They wouldn't be able to put that in a dump truck and haul it anywhere, it'd have to stay on site, I'm guessing.
Right.
But the muck came into the pond from the outside of the edge, why can't it go back and rebuild the edge of the pond is what I'm thinking as well.
Is that supposedly spring fed?
yeah.
Is it a shallow pond or is it any depth?
It did at one time, I know it did. Cause I remember when the rink burnt many years ago, that's where they had, hockey practice.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the depth of the pond, but I'm saying it was deep enough there, nice enough ice, and
Yeah, it's about an acre inside, so it's a good size.
it's about an acre pond there, and it's
The
I'm
other
guessing it was probably
contact
8-10 feet
could
deep.
Possibly make the soil conservation service,
soil conservation service.
sale of those.
Because I know that, the Hannah farm had a silo fire, and that would have been an excellent water source, but it couldn't be used.
Yeah, the one
Right.
just
We also
last month
back
or
and
whatever,
forth.
when they were running back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yeah, that's the silo fire I'm referring to.
Yeah.
So, I will continue to try to see if we can come up with something there. I don't know the soil conservation, get contact information on that,
Right.
but, it's definitely, important. For both Franklin as well, because it's an excellent water source for Franklin as well on that end.
Is there any phone calls we can make to help you guys? That would, you know,
At this point, I mean, I'm going off the cuff here. I mean, everything I'm telling you is just, and you hate to assume, but it's assumption. It's probably gonna have to be us contacting somebody to see if we can even touch the pond.
Well, they're the landowners, and if it's a private pond, they can contact.
What's that?
As being the landowner, since it's a privately owned pond, they can contact.
They can, but I'm just wondering if being the town, and that's a major water source for,
Correct.
if we might have a little bit more.
Yeah,
More pull, a little bit more pull.
yeah, more significance than just being a private pond.
Yeah, it's just, it's not there just
Yeah, yeah,
to look pretty. It's actually it's a functional
Yeah.
fire pond.
Yeah.
That can't be used right now, so.
Right, and there was an investment in that,
correct.
so,
So no promises, but we'll see what we can do as far as try to reach out to, I don't know who we contact, I'm sure we can find out.
Soil conservation, Sarah LaRose.
Sarah, you might know her.
A little bit.
Okay,
thank you.
No, thank you.
no, thank you, and, we'll see what we can do.
okay. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll go right on to the town of Franklin. So we have some select board members here, and I see Yvonne Danduran is online with us, so if you could just, introduce yourselves.
Brooke Sturdivant, Vice Chair, Franklin Select Board.
Dave Benyon, Chair of Franklin Select Board.
Okay, welcome, gentlemen, all three of you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, and we also have the road foreman, Jeremy Burnham.
Okay. All right, I know Jeremy, so yes. Welcome Jeremy as well. So, we had talked a little bit last time with Yvonne, about how we had had some conversations before about whether or not the towns could ever share equipment. Equipment gets more and more expensive. Some of this equipment's not used all the time. Doesn't make sense to try to make that an option. So I will let you explain what has happened in Franklin and what your ideas are.
Well, the last meeting that we had where we discussed it, a number of points were brought up. One was that at the time when you need the grader, both towns are gonna be needing it at the same time of the year, which could present problems, because you're also working around weather. So Jeremy, as the road foreman, didn't feel that it was advisable. It was also brought up that although it might help split the cost, it's also gonna make the equipment wear out twice as fast and need service more often. So his feeling was that it probably wasn't a good course of action. And he said he had talked some with the highway department over here, and he said that they pretty much felt the same way. So at that point, we just figured we'd keep it on the table a little bit longer and discuss it, but I don't know if Yvonne has anything to add in on that. He was on the select board when this first came up a few years ago, so he made the offer to come over and broach the subject with your board, and we thanked him for his offer and let him go with that.
Has anybody acquired the VLTC if it's doable? Years ago, we ran into a contractor wanting to rent the grader. And because of a lawsuit this town had numerous years ago, you can't do anything private. It's the town's grader, and you can't lend it, you rent it. And I don't know if that's the case with another town, that's why I'm wondering if anybody checked.
Right, no, well, this was just in the beginning stages of talk, and am I, making an assumption you'd like to pull any offer off the table? You know, that this isn't what you would prefer to do?
That was the way we were leaning, just because of all the open questions about it and possible conflicts.
I actually stopped Tuesday morning, stopped in the town, talked to the public works guy before I was going to work, and spoke with Butch about it. He said he wouldn't be able to be here tonight. And it's exactly what you said. They weren't opposed to working with Franklin at all.
Right.
It's the simple fact that there was no good solution to who'd get it first. The whole thing around if it's raining or not, one town would have to use more chlorine than the other town if they had to, you know, if the roads were dry when they were grading.
Yeah.
And that sounded like it was gonna create more issues than positives. So although he was not against working with Franklin at all, he also agreed that, I think the same as Jeremy, that it just seems does seem very practical.
Yeah, well,
And
I know we, our two road crews work well together.
They
They
do.
have cleaning up along Franklin Road there, and
Yeah, there's,
your guys come over and help ours, and vice versa, and they made a nice job of that last year, cleaning that up. So.
no, there's no personality issues at all with this at all. It's not.
Yeah.
And I initially, when this whole thing came out, it was something I thought about many years ago when I was on the board in Franklin. But then when you start, it sounds great,
Yeah,
but then when you start figuring out the details, it doesn't sound so good anymore. Just because you know that you're gonna have upset public,
yeah.
one side or the other. And so,
Yeah, it wasn't a overwhelming when we had a vote, so I think trying to balance the logistics of that with the concerns of the taxpayers, that it's gonna be a noticeable difference on their taxes, and if there's a way to kind of lessen the hit on them, just exploring. I was one, like, you know, even if it's not the grader, just finding areas of, you know, dialogue with you guys to support each other. And I know you guys helped us out when we had one of our plows down, so like, are there ways to, I don't know, I guess I'm not a very mechanically inclined person by any means, I'll be the first to admit that, but thinking like, are there ways to, you know, do something and you know, maybe take some time to deliberate and think about this, and the same realization that, one, logistically it does create a nightmare, and by no means am I looking to create more work for anybody at all, because we're all very busy, but at the same time trying to weigh the concerns of, you know, there are enough people that have been speaking about concerns in terms like how we're gonna pay for it, you know, using ARPA funds or, you know, whatever it may be, and if this sharing, you know, discussion could go anywhere, that could maybe lessen the burden, but at the same time, I'm just speaking to some of the people that have approached me, so. And I get it, you know, times are, you know, people are feeling the pinch and finding, you know, whether it be $30 or $60 on their taxes, I mean, it does affect people's incomes, and I think there's a large number of people that were not happy with the purchase of it, but at the same time, you can, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, I think.
I know
So,
it's
like I said,
probably the majority of those people that took that vote, so.
Yeah, yeah,
And
No matter what, you can't,
yeah.
it passed, but by a very small margin.
And due to the type of weather we have in Vermont, your windows sometimes only 2-3 days.
Right.
We were in Arizona or New Mexico, a different story. But we aren't. And that's the logistics of it, that generally when it's like a crop, two farmers are sharing a chopper, and the crop is ready to go in. It's ready to go in, and somebody's gonna get it first. And generally, it's the person that owns the chopper.
he's got the keys.
It's that $500,000 that sticks in your craw though when you have to ask for the voters for that.
Yeah.
For something that gets used 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
That's an awful hard sell.
Yeah.
And you couldn't sell me on that.
But it's not actually $500,000, it's a quarter, isn't it?
No, they got 300 and something in theirs.
Really?
And that was,
369.
so by the time ours comes due,
Oh, so you guys are gonna get one, or?
Eventually.
No, eventually,
Ours is
Maybe.
89.
yeah.
maybe.
It's an 89, it's inevitable.
The other thing that Butch did say, you guys had a 14-foot blade on that one.
Yeah, it could be used as like an
There's-
emergency,
There's some roads that he has that, like the horn, 14-foot blade would be really tough to use.
oh, really, okay.
Blade that wide.
Oh, okay.
That was the only thing he said about, he didn't think that worked very well in that situation, so.
Okay. I thought you meant like I guess it's an option for like plowing too, like.
Yeah, I guess you guys got a plow to go with it, so you can use it for plowing as well, and that's what Yvonne was explaining.
Yeah.
But it's just the actual blade for grading.
Oh, okay.
And Butch said he'd rather give up his wife than his John Deere, so. There is that comment too.
Well, on that note.
So,
Boy, is he
We won't get any more
getting up there.
He's in trouble now, Sharon.
Oh, really?
I think he's liable to get his John Deere.
So I guess we won't do it, because we know where that's going.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a dead issue.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, thank you for your
thank you
time.
very much.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank,
Yeah.
Yvonne,
On you.
unmute.
You're
No,
muted.
still unmute.
No, I don't think he's
No.
on, I don't know if I have sound.
Come on, Heidi, 2 years of Zoom, let's go.
Now.
Oh, there's always issues
Yvonne,
with that.
can you say something?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
This over here.
The grader you've got
Now?
now is about 95,000.
Is that right?
We spent, we bought it, at least return.
Jeremy, are you able to be heard?
Wendy, can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
No audio.
Nope, I shut my camera off. So sorry. That should be what? No.
Yeah. We have our own issues with Zoom, so.
Well, I don't usually have this problem.
You're not missing much.
I'm, no way.
I mean, it's good to get more people, but at the same
Okay.
time,
Try that. What the heck? I don't know what the problem is.
Can they call on that phone and pick it up on my mic?
It is, let's see. Let's with the camera.
write it out.
Let's try this.
Yeah, boy, that
Kyle, while we're waiting, when did you get on, like, I remember you're the one that approached me about, like, when did you, I'm just trying to think, like, how long I've been doing this. Do you remember?
I've been here 6.5 years.
Okay.
You guys can hear me?
Oh,
There we go.
Okay. I don't know, this is a bug.
Working?
Yep,
we're
we're
working.
set up, we can hear you.
Okay. So just an opinion or a thought or whatnot, about everything that's been said, and I'm certainly not undermining Jeremy's opinion or anybody else's opinion just on sharing a grader. I'm a big believer in trying to get as much pulse from our town. Same thing from Highgate. I would like to get a pulse from Highgate. Is there a possibility that both Franklin and Highgate could ask the question at the elections this fall to see how they would feel about sharing a grader? Just to get more feedback.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have to limit it to a grader. You could just put it out as equipment and see what you had for a pulse.
Sure, that's fine too. I guess at the end of the day, I like to be as transparent as possible, and something like this, I would like to get as much feedback from both towns on a situation like this. This is a new adventure, something that we've never done anyway. I don't know if Highgate has with other towns, but we haven't, and it's just I guess I'm trying to keep the fire lit a little bit longer and trying to get more feedback is what I'm getting at, I guess.
Okay. And we can certainly also put a question out as a survey on our website as well.
Yeah, that would work as well. Yeah, if you have a lot of, yeah, sure.
Wendy does a fantastic job on our social media, so we're very fortunate to have that option.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I'm trying to keep this alive a little bit longer, I don't want to push the issue, but the reason why I'm trying to keep it alive is because, like Dave had mentioned, when we voted for this grader at the town of Franklin, it was a close call. So it seems like our town anyway is divided on it. And I'm pretty sure it's because due to the cost. And that's why we were looking to see if we could help on the cost end of it. But I mean, if by the time it all gets boiled down and we see too many negatives on sharing this piece of equipment, then at least we won't be able to say we haven't tried or we haven't communicated the thought out there with our taxpayers.
Yeah, I don't see why it can hurt. I mean, it's not gonna hurt, really. That's just my opinion.
I think you should also keep in mind that you don't normally do Australian ballot either, so you don't normally see the votes, and that might have had a lot to do with it. Somebody just sees a high dollar amount and votes no. Whereas if we were doing a floor vote like it normally is, you may not see those numbers, Not to say it doesn't matter that it was close. I'm just saying that
Right.
plays a part in it as well.
Okay,
Anyway, thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
thank you very much. And thank you to the both of you as
Thank you.
well.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for
Yeah.
having us tonight.
But yes, we're always willing to help, Franklin.
Okay. Same
We
here.
make good partners.
Good to have good neighbors.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
And I'd just like to say, I'm impressed with everything that Highgate's been doing to improve the town here. It shows, and I know my wife and I are quite impressed with all the changes.
Well, we appreciate that. We don't wanna change it too much,
No,
but we wanna step a little into the future so we don't get left behind.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, and we're very fortunate, we have great boards and fantastic volunteers, so it's certainly a group effort.
Cool.
But thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, meeting later.
Okay, so we were gonna have the animal control officer, but she is unavailable tonight. So we have the village core, and Sue, are you the only one here from the village core?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Well, and Richard.
And Richard.
okay.
Richard.
Are you still on the village core? Yes?
Technically, no.
He's stepping down.
Because I opened it up for more, there was enough volunteers that it behooved me to get off that board, because I'm on, represent town and a couple others, and
Yep.
so it opened it up for another position. You've got some pretty good volunteers, so.
We have been extremely lucky with our volunteers,
Yeah.
So, the village core would like to appoint 3 new members to make their committee a total of 9. So the 3 names that have been put forth to us are Laura Jocks, I'm assuming, Dan Swain Bank, and Chris Shepherd. So I'm assuming those were all voted on by the committee, so
Yes, it was.
would someone like to make a motion from the select board to approve those 3 nominations?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
So the other thing that came up at the meeting with the village core was that we have a planning grant application in with Vermont Community Development Program for $55,000 with a $5,500 match. And at this point in the review, they send an analysis back to the town. And one of the questions was, have we put enough in for the environmental reviews? And I had a meeting with the team that looks at those things, and they suggested that we be careful because things are expensive right now. And that property was considered sensitive. We will have to have a phase 1 archaeological site assessment, I believe it's called. And it could be between $7,500 and $9,000 to have that done. So we'd like to request an amendment. It's unclear if we can do that yet, but we'd like to request that we go for the full amount of $60,000, and the town has a $6,000 match with that. But we've submitted in-kind information that would allow us to claim up to $5,000 of that in in-kind. So the town or the village core master plan committee would be on the hook for coming up with $1,000 cash. And they do have $15,000 in the capital budget.
okay.
So the committee voted the other night to bump it up and ask the select board to support that.
Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
That was easy.
That was easy. Okay.
It isn't increasing any.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good night, folks.
There's already some money in the CIP covered.
Keep stoking the fire.
Yeah, and that's why we put that money in there, so
Yeah.
they could keep going, so.
Correct. Very
Yep.
good.
Okay, moving on to Shelley, who has left the paperwork for the check warrants.
Now they went out the band concert.
Yep, well, that's good. Okay, we had a chance to look at the check warrants.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Do I have a motion to sign the check warrant?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Alright. Wendy, would you like to go while we sign the check warrants?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I should be quick. You have minutes from May 19th.
Okay, do we have a motion to sign the minutes from May 19th?
So,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And just a couple updates. A reminder that June 7th is Lister grievance appointments. Get a hold of the Lister's office to schedule an appointment. They can take walk-ins until 2 p.m., but appointments are preferred. Let's see, summer concerts are gonna start July 10th. I saw a lot of information posted today, so I'll be sharing that on social media, but it looks like there's 7 weeks of concerts on Sunday, starting July 10th, every Sunday with the exception of Field Days weekend. June 8th, which is next Wednesday, Shelley and I have to sit through another training on the tabulator. We went to JP last week for an offsite training. Next Wednesday, they are actually delivering our tabulator and we're gonna have a hands-on training. So we have to close the office at noon for that training. I did post that as well. And the pressure washing was done last Friday on the building and I think it looks great. And I think that was everything that I had.
The only question I have, Wendy, would be, do we need to approve minutes from our meeting with Swan Village?
I don't know. I saw those in draft form and I didn't type them, so I don't know. Did you see them?
I did see them.
Because I don't think even on there was a place for you guys to sign them.
Okay, I just wanted to
So,
make sure we were legal.
yeah, I posted what they sent us, but it looked like there was a spot for a village president and their board secretary to sign, but so I'm guessing no.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Heidi.
Before you move on, Shelley, I think she wanted you to sign the auditing
Okay, yes, I did see that.
contract as well. She had 2 things there for you.
Okay. So did everyone have a chance to look at the Sullivan Powers and Company
Yeah.
audit scope and objectives?
I did.
Do we have a motion to sign?
So,
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Okay. Okay.
Well, while you're finishing that, if you want, I'll jump right into the next thing.
Go right ahead.
We have the proposal from Pike Industries. They were selected for your paving contract. And so the contract was reduced to fit within the town's budget. It's $347,441.50. So they cut it down. There is a disclaimer a caution I put on the front. They're still talking about how tough it is to plan this year. So if the price skyrockets, the price will go up, and then we'd have to reduce the scope further. They understand we have no more than that amount, so if the price increases, they pay less. Make the same.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to look at the new paving agreement?
yes.
Can I have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
So, we also have the opportunity again to participate in the Municipal Roads Grant and Aid Program. They're the smaller grants that cover water quality issues. And it's a nice amount this year, it's $25,000. You only got $14,000 last year. And I talked to Butch, and that's really attractive because if you look at the list of things that it covers, it's a lot of things he has to do anyway. So he could also hire someone to do that if they're crunch next year. So he definitely wants to get in. He's thinking about something in Highgate Springs, around Shipyard Bay. There's a few culverts that we haven't gotten to. And that we could collaborate with the Friends of Northern. So that's what he's thinking, but before they finalize it, they always come and do a site visit and make sure your project fits the criteria. But if you are in agreement, I have the letter of intent to get us into the program. And then after that, when they get all the letters of intent in, if some towns don't claim their money, our amount could go up.
Okay, do we have a motion to sign?
I'll make a motion on that.
That's second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
FEMA transfer station slide. I have some less than good news. We were hopeful that the legislature was putting in money as match for those FEMA grants, and they did do that. But in the 11th hour, they limited it specifically to home buyouts.
Good.
So I've contacted our legislators, and we're trying to figure out, is there a workaround that we can do to make this happen? And I contacted Congressman Welch's office to see if they had any advice for us. And we still are in the Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund for that amount. So if nothing else, you're in there for a loan based on what they get for ARPA. They may be able to forgive some of it, but you do have that. I know that's not great, but you have that. But hopefully something else will loosen up there.
And that's the Whisper program you're just speaking
Well-
about, or that's an additional?
If we were allowed into the Whisper program, it's 100% coverage. They're saying for us is that it's not what they consider a green fix. We're talking about restoning and creating a very different fix. Then they're more inclined to fund things that are like involving bioretention pools and green
That's a
stuff.
lot better than garbage in the river.
Yes.
That's pretty green.
That's an excellent point. So anyway, that's a major setback, but we're still looking and hopefully something will open up. I think that might be all I have for you. And we can move into your stuff.
Okay. So, first off, we'd really like to thank the Vermont Rural Development. They came and spent a lot of time and a lot of facilitating for Highgate, and we appreciate that. Came up with some very nice ideas, and committees have been formed and are continuing to look for more volunteers and some chairs and co-chairs of those committees. But we are very grateful for them to come. They were just delightful. They were very, very nice people and were very Highgate oriented and not just out for something else that didn't coincide with what we had in mind. They will produce a booklet that will be available. And when that becomes available, we'll let you know. The committees that were created include topics for Highgate that are timely in what the things that we're doing and that'll help our community to grow. The first one was to expand the Highgate Library and Community Center. Second was to advance career training, workforce development, and agricultural career pathways. That committee is looking for a co-chair. 3 was expand community events and boost volunteerism and engagement. There's a nice, positive, excited group there that always welcome new volunteers. We also had to support and recruit local businesses, was identified as a top priority. But when they began to speak about that, it seemed that advanced career training, workforce development, and agricultural career pathways was most interesting to the businesses in town because, of course, lack of help and some of those features. So they've decided to put that into the advanced career training, workforce development, and agricultural career pathways. So, as always, there's opportunities to join in. There's opportunities to have your voice heard. And we look forward to their report and moving forward with some of their ideas. So we thank them very much. Thank everyone who came out and participated in that agreement. So, that is the first thing. We also have the video surveillance policy. Did everyone have a chance to look at that? Okay, so you need to appoint a secondary administrator. So Vern is our go-to man, but they would like to have a secondary person for that. So, any thoughts?
Chris Hagan. I nominate Chris Hagan.
I'm with that.
That's what you get.
Yeah, that's right. You don't show up, that's what you get.
You get.
I don't hear anybody objecting.
No, that's right. Sounds good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Done.
And have we already agreed to the original policy?
Yep, the original policy
Awesome.
was adopted fairly recently, and was functioning fine. So, I don't think any other edits are needed.
Great.
Maybe after we use it for a few years, we'll figure out if we need to update something.
Okay. Next. Tim Smith and the FCIDC, Franklin County Development, have graciously donated a wrought iron bench, which looks like this one here. And we're very thankful for his donation. Where would you like to put it?
Where is it gonna get stolen?
Brian, got any good ideas?
Not really.
Well, FCIDC wants us to put it in a concrete,
Something where it's
so it won't be stolen. I had mentioned it to Ty briefly, and they were interested in having some sort of stop and rest area over at the arena for people on the rail trail coming through, so that's one to consider.
Okay.
But keep it on the arena property, right? Keep it on the.
Yep.
Okay. So hopefully we can find a nice spot for that. And again, thank you very much to Tim and the FCIDC. It was very nice. The other thing that we have is we have a contract between the rec department and the school for usage of the arena, lobby, bathrooms, locker rooms, outdoor facilities, parking lot, walking path. For proposed hours of use, 5 days a week. And they would like to pay the rec department for that in the rate of $3,720. And that would be to allow the children access to that. So, does anyone have any thoughts or questions or?
So when's that, just during the summer, or they didn't read it all?
It shall commence on July 5th and terminate on July 29th. And the proposed hours of use are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., so 3 hours, and 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., 2 hours. And then Tuesday and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., they're 11:30, hour and a half, and 12:30 to 2:30 at 2 hours.
So,
Basically the month of July.
so it's Highgate kids, right?
Yeah.
So,
I would assume it's between the district, but
yeah, I don't think we should be charging them, because I think we're starting here pretty quick, we're gonna have to start charging to use the school. I don't know, maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but these are our own kids, that's my feeling. I don't think we should be charging for the walking path, the bathroom, I could see if we were bringing in Chittenden County and all other areas, but if it's just our Highgate kids, that's my feeling. I don't know how you guys feel,
It
but
wouldn't be just Highgate kids, it would be everybody in the school district, correct?
I would assume
Franklin,
in the school
Highgate,
district,
Swan.
but
I think it's just open enrollment. I
Kind
don't
of
think you
open,
have
yeah.
to say where you're coming from.
Right, could be kids.
Could be Bakersfield, could
Right.
be anywhere a kid could come.
oh yeah, but it's that did so. I don't know.
I didn't know anything about it until today, so I haven't had a chance to ask any real questions. It just came.
Could we get some, I think we need to get some more information. I do.
Isn't it Crossroads?
I kind of took it to mean that it
yeah,
was a
that's like
school
a Crossroads,
program that they
which
were
is mostly
funding.
all Highgate.
That's all Highgate, it's Crossroads.
Yeah, it's all Highgate.
But that may be what the contract is for, is that it was a school program funding the project.
and I do know you're right, Richard, that the arena doesn't charge the school when they do skating and
yeah.
stuff, yes, I know that the arena keeps track of that money because it's part of the ins and outs of
Yeah.
the business side of the arena, but I know that that's a donation.
So I agree with Richard, if it's mostly Highgate kids, then taxpayers already paid.
That's what I was gonna get at.
They already paid once for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like double dipping. I realize it comes out of the school's budget, but if it's mostly Highgate kids, to me, it's, I don't know, I'm not really comfortable charging them either. I mean, I'd like to see whatever expenses be covered.
And that's probably what that's about.
I mean, whatever-
I agree, we can get more information, but I took it to mean
Whatever
that the
expenses,
school
I
was
mean,
covering
as
the
far as,
cost
like,
of the
what is it
rec
gonna be?
department
That's
running
what
the
I'm saying,
program.
use the bathroom or,
So they'll
you know,
be
that's-
paying someone to run those programs and they'll be offering them snacks and all those normal expenses, so.
Alright, so let's find out exactly what their plan is, and that way
Yeah, it's
make
not
it
that
more
we're,
educated.
it's not that we're against it, by any means, obviously, I mean, cause then you realize we're the 1st of June now, and July 5th is coming
Yeah,
Fast.
they
quicker
just
than I like to think.
sprung it on you, I get it. Okay, so we get more info.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that one there. Okay. MOU, is that a contractual executive or a
Yes.
public at this point?
No, that
Okay.
can still be an executive.
Okay. Do we have anything else for the select board?
Sharon, I'm sorry I'm late. I'll just give you a quick recap of Memorial Day. It went super. I want to thank everybody that was involved. And a lot of people didn't hear who the winners of the float were. First place went to O.C. McEwen and Sons. Second place went to Franklin County Field Days. Third place went to Highgate Village Mall.
Great.
But we had a lot of work. Everybody thought everything was excellent, and we got a lot of compliments on things that are going on in this town.
Yep.
That's really appreciated. And again, we're looking for volunteers. Special thanks to the food sale that raised enough money that we've partially figured out that all of our electricity can be paid for our electrical work. So the next goal is working on the other flagpole and the other part. Everything went really super.
Yeah, we,
Big thanks to the fire department, they were a great help.
yeah, and there was so many volunteers. with
Even though I
Franklin.
couldn't sell too many bottles of Tums, but it went really good.
Yes, it did.
also I'd like to thank, the last minute, stepping up for us and John Means. He did an excellent job with his speech and
Channel 3 TV called and wants to speak with him later on because the speech he gave was from the heart. Nothing came from a book, and he wrote that 24 hours prior to it. And he had tears in everybody's eyes when he was reading it. It was awesome. Yep.
Although I'm a little disappointed in our select board member. But I understand. Also want to notice that on Monday, 7 AM to 4 PM, the Rollo Road will be closed. Please seek an alternate route. The boys will be working on the road, so they beg your indulgence. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay. And I would like to say one last time that I am extremely proud of our community and our volunteers. I know myself, sometimes I get the idea that I have to run everything because I'm anal. But Keith and Richard did a great job with the Memorial Day Parade.
You helped a lot too, Sharon, because everything got bounced off you.
To watch the people at the Vermont Rural Development, the people that came out and volunteered to chair these things, and watching some of the younger ones step up to take more action in their community, it was very nice. Very proud of the people we have here. So, having said that, thank you very much. If there's no other comments.
I just have one comment, and I mentioned it to Heidi. I won't be around until probably August, and I would like to have the notes so I can keep track of what's going on, because I'm going to be going in for major surgery next week.
we can do that, and we wish you the best of luck, so.
I'm gonna miss you guys, but it's gonna be quiet for a while. I'm gonna love that.
Now, nobody in town's gonna know what's going on.
Nobody's gonna know, the messenger's gonna be laid up for a
Oh,
while.
maybe she'll be up home.
I'm still gonna phone by,
Thank
so, no problem.
They're gonna call you soon.
Okay, yeah, bye guys.
Alright,
Have a good night.
thank you. So I
Thanks,
would
Mary.
Bye-bye.
would make the motion to exit regular select board meeting and enter into executive with Heidi.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.